and welcome to Irish Football Fan TV. This is the match preview. We're here to preview Finland versus the Republic of Ireland. Gary, we're coming into this game, I suppose I would say optimistic after the performance against Wales. There's been a lot of kind of situations going around regarding COVID and stuff like that. But we're coming into the game tomorrow. It seems as though we're only minus James McCarthy. But from a Finnish perspective, they beat us a month ago. They beat us 1-0 at the Viva Stadium. It was the last time we conceded a goal, but we haven't scored since the game before that, which is our biggest problem. But looking at the Finnish team, what are you expecting?
So I'm probably expecting more of the same. I mean, it's probably an easier one to preview in that we saw them play a month ago and unfortunately beat us. And they're on a really good run now. I mean, they were beaten by Wales in the 90th, a very late goal. They came to Dublin and beat us, kept a clean sheet, and then they beat Bulgaria on Sunday. They had a very good 2-0 home win over Bulgaria. So they're probably riding high. I know I was predicting 4-4-2 and they actually changed it slightly in Dublin, but they went back to 4-4-2, I believe, against Bulgaria. That's the formations I've seen, and that's what they've typically played for the last couple of years. They like to play a 4-4-2, and I think we know what to expect. They'll be very well organised. They'll be well drilled. They're not going to beat themselves, and but they are a limited team, and I think we're well capable. If not, we're well capable of beating them. I don't know if we will beat them tomorrow, but we're certainly well capable of getting a result there, and hopefully well capable of scoring a goal.
Yeah, well, like Stephen Kenny was on a press conference earlier with Dan Randolph, and he mentioned that the way kind of Finland are at the moment, they're like a club. Like they don't really change their team or that formation that often. The manager seems to select the same team a lot. So, I don't really read too much into the game last month because, players were on pre-season and stuff like that. Our defence didn't look like what it is now. We knew once Shane Duffy got a run of games, he'd be back to himself, and he hasn't been at fault at all. He's been brilliant since we've been back the last two games. And obviously, I'd imagine he would start and captain against Finland as well because of the way the squad is at the moment. But we kind of look I don't think John Egan's going to be there anymore because he was a close contact originally. So I don't think is he in the squad anymore. I've lost out on who's in the squad anymore.
Yeah, as far as I know, the four players are still excluded because my understanding is the person who we obviously can't name that tested positive, then tested negative, then tested positive again. So my understanding is the four close contacts are not eligible to play. Now, I'm not 100% sure on that, but that's certainly my understanding of it. But we certainly have Aaron Connolly and Adam Ida back, and we also have the players that have been promoted from the under-21 side. So
yeah, well, sorry, there was a delay there.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see who Stephen will pick, and possibly with an eye to experimentation as well. So it'll be a balance between some of the senior players. Remember, this will be their third game in a week, and they also had extra time and penalties in Slovakia. So I think asking them to go again for 90 minutes, and I think Stephen might want to be fair to the club managers as well, given they'll have games at the weekend as well. So it would be interesting to see who he picks. I mean, I certainly wouldn't like to try and guess he's starting 11 and try and get too many of them right, but who knows?
Well, I did. So if you want to go over and check that out after you watch this video, you can go. It's uploaded and everything. But yeah, I agree. I would like to see a lot of the younger players brought in too. You could see today with the under-21s playing that they really missed some of the players there. Darragh O'Shea, Jason Knight, just to name a couple. But it's great to have Aaron Connolly back and Adam Ida, who I do think will probably both start because McGoldrick's out. And looking around the squad, Shane Long, he played 70, 72, 75 minutes there the last day. So he could be in with a chance to play again. You've got Ronan Curtis there as well. You got Ryan Manning. There's a lot of players that could still come in and we can have a look at them. I think what we I know Stephen will have a mix, whatever he does. So, whether Darragh O'Shea starts centre back alongside Shane Duffy, I think he'll have a mixture of experience and youth no matter what. So it won't be just a case of just a lot of young lads thrown into a game because we haven't enough players and stuff like that. The only one who's really missing out of the team that travelled was James McCarthy. So they said you still have Kevin Long there too. Because he went off the other day, will he come in and play? We just don't know what kind of. It will be interesting to see the starting lineup, I think. But I do think someone like Connolly, who we've really missed his spark, the fact that McLean's suspended now, he's back at home. So I think Aaron Connolly will be nailed on for that left wing spot, and it's great. But what I do want to say is how great it is to see these players really wanting to come and represent their country, and doing all they can to get into the squad and make sure that they're available, which is brilliant to see, and it bodes well for the future.
Yeah, I mean it does. As far as I'm concerned, Aaron Connolly is our first choice on probably on the left side of the attack, but certainly Aaron Connolly, as far as I'm concerned, starts all important games. I won't say every game because there is experimentation, etc. And so, yeah, I would expect Aaron Connolly to start. I think he'll go with Adam Ida. He went with Adam for the first 2 games. I appreciate Didsey wasn't available, but he's not available again. And I don't think Shane Long did enough on Sunday to get the nod, but who knows, ahead of Adam Ida. At the back, I'd like to see Kevin Long get another chance. God, I really felt for him. He had a great chance on Sunday and then to go off injured after 25 minutes. So, yes, if he's fit and fully fit and available, I'd certainly like to see him get a chance. I'd also maybe player I've been keeping an eye on for a while is Ryan Manning at Queen's Park Rangers. He's been playing really well as a converted left back. Now, I suppose he probably won't start given he's just been called into the squad, but he is someone I'd like to see given a try because I know QPR fans that are absolutely raving about him. And so possibly worth a look. Maybe not tomorrow. I might get some game time tomorrow. And another player I'm excited about is Jason Knight at Derby. And I think Stephen knows well what he can do. And we may well see him as well. And I will, when talking about young players, I think Jay Malumbi did more than enough on Sunday that I think he has to start tomorrow. So I wasn't even kind of discussing him as a potential starter. I think he will start given his performance.
I'm actually buzzing to see how well he's going to do tomorrow. I feel like he's going to have a really good game against the Finns. I can't see any reason why he will be dropped. I feel as though Howard will play McCarthy's role now because McCarthy's not going to be there. I feel he'd probably go with the same midfield. And then I'd say, look, what we need to make sure we do is score tomorrow because we can't come off the back of this international break without a goal. I just think that will be... The critics would be out in force, and they'd be calling for Kenny's head, which I think is ridiculous. I think it would be great to get an early goal. I'm not saying too early, but just an early goal because really looking at the Finnish team in last month, I didn't think they were that great. I mean, they're danger men. I've got written down here Pukki, Taylor midfield, Kamara, and then Sparv. You really rate your man Kamara from Rangers. Did he used to play for Rangers or is he still there?
Yeah, well, I think he's still there, but he doesn't actually feature a lot of their starting 11. Well, he was superb in Dublin. He was absolutely superb. I didn't, when I say really rate him, he can look good. I don't really think he shone that much in Scotland. And he's central midfield partner, the captain, the experienced guy, Tim Sparv, who's been around a long time. He's been around quite a bit of Europe. He's played, but not really at major clubs. I mean, I'll go back to the point you made that they are like a club side. They're well organised, and certainly the whole is better than the sum of the parts. And but in Dublin, the two of them got a grip on midfield and basically ran the show. Glenn Kamara looked world class in that game. No, I don't think he is world class, but certainly he was head and shoulders above any of our midfield on the day. Now I know Jay Malumbi played that day, but he was certainly a lot better. But But we go back to the point again. I mean, our players were still in pre-season. Now, I appreciate a lot of the Finnish players were in pre-season as well, but they were in pre-season at that stage. So I'm not going to read too much into last month, but we are up against a side that did really well. They've qualified for the Euros, qualified for a major tournament for the first time, and they qualified with their home results. I mean, they won, I think, every home game apart from Italy, and even they gave Italy a bit of a fright. So, okay, they lost to Wales to a late goal first time up, but then they went and beat Bulgaria 2-0 on Sunday. So it will be difficult. Do we need to score? I'd like to see us get a result. I mean, I'd be happy enough with 0-0. I prefer 1-1 or 2-2, but I think if we got a draw, it would keep a bit of momentum going. I know what you're saying. If we don't score, it'll go on. It'll be 4 games in a row. But I think the goals will come. I mean, Stevens under 21 scored quite a lot of goals, and I think we don't have a top goal scorer, but I think we will create more chances, and I think we will score more goals. It'd be nice to get a goal tomorrow, but I'm more focused on getting a result. I think that's probably more important.
Yeah, I just, I can see now someone like Alameda or Aaron Connolly getting their first international goal for Ireland, senior international goal, and everyone just being delighted, and it gets the buzz back, and then I think we go into the next round of games next month full of confidence. Everyone's buzzing. The fact we've young, exciting players, or even if someone like a Jason Knight comes on and scores or something like that, that would be brilliant. And it just gives the nation a little bit of a lift right now. Everyone's struggling on hard times. I think when the football team, and I think everybody will say this too, when the football team is doing well, the country tends to do well in terms of the people's morale and stuff like that. A lot of people online in the comments and our videos and stuff like that, they're just not happy because we haven't been scoring goals. I think the performances have been really good. I've really actually enjoyed our performances. It's a lot more composed. I seen a stat today that we are the second highest in terms of pass completion. That doesn't win you games. I appreciate that. But when you're looking in the nations that we were in comparison, I think Belgium and Portugal we were joined with, and Israel, but we were just under Spain. But I think watching us, and we're just not just aimlessly launching a ball up to the striker, hoping that he can try to, keep it up there or chase it. We actually have a style of play where we're trying to get the ball from the back. We're trying to play through teams. You look at our fullbacks the other day, how high they were up on what I was watching from, I was obviously at the match, but Cyrus Christie was right up past the halfway line, and Enda Stevens the same, and they were level. So the two of them were high the whole time, even with Doherty and Duffy as the two centre backs. I think that as well helped the way Howard played as well. But I do really like the kind of way we're setting things up, and it's a new thing that we're trying to do. I do appreciate that people want results, and it's a results-based business. But I'm actually just enjoying the way we're playing. It's just that the ball hasn't gone in the net. I think a couple of them times the ball goes in the net, people are going, "Oh, Stephen Kenny's brilliant," and I'm not trying to laud Stephen Kenny up as this football genius or messiah or anything like that, like a lot of people were before he took the job. But I think I've seen a lot of good signs of the way he wants to change the way we want to play football. And it's not just the way we play football at senior level. It's a style of football from the 15s and maybe a little bit younger, but 15s right up the whole way through the ranks. So everybody knows the style of football that we're looking to play. So when they come into the team, it's not like you're just dragging someone in to play long ball football and hit and hope and try and try and get a set piece, try and nick a goal and defend, and try and get a lucky goal. Because I don't care what you say. People say, "Oh, bring Mick back," but everyone hated that because we weren't winning games, and a lot of those games that we were playing, we were losing 1-0, and then we'd get a goal, and then we were all celebrating 1-1 draws. Although we're not. Look, I was speaking to Darren Randolph the other day, and I was just talking to him. Like the clean sheets are a good thing. We do not look rocky at the back whatsoever. By that one little clearance off the line by Shane Duffy, which is brilliant, we don't look like conceding too much. We battered Wales. I thought we were far superior to Wales the other day. You could say they didn't have Joe Allen or Bales. We didn't have Coleman and a couple of other players as well. So you got to look at it that way. Bit of a rant,
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we battered Wales. No, I think probably a draw was a fair result in my book, but we played well, and I mean,
To a
I
man,
think
we
given
battled
all the
them though.
well, okay, but we definitely did. We played very well, and we were missing a lot of players. I mean, okay, they were missing Gareth Bale, as you say, and they were missing Joe Allen, but we were missing a number of key players. I mean, right across the pitch. So, yeah, I was very pleased with the performance, and yeah, I'm pleased with the style of play as well. And hopefully, I think Stephen is being given time, and maybe not by some of the critics, but he will be given time by the FAI. And I suppose it's the balance between when does he experiment, and I mean we've got this game and a couple of games now next month. I say there's talk of a friendly before the two Nations League games. I'm not sure actually what the story is about that, but he doesn't have too much time to experiment and to try things out. And of course, the other thing we're focused on is trying to get a second seeding for the World Cup draw, which is at the end of November as well. So we need to get some results to get that. So there's still so much at stake, but it's also giving players the chance and trying out. I don't think he'll try out a new system, but try out players in different positions.
Yeah, but I mean, who can you try out? You can only try out the players that can come in and play the positions that they're already in. I mean, I don't think you can tamper too much with the midfield. I think you will go with the same midfield three. I've mentioned that already. The back four would probably be three of the back four anyway. I can't imagine them going away from Stevens, Doherty, and Duffy, and then maybe Darragh O'Shea in beside Shane Duffy. That's what I think. And then up front, you're probably going to look at, I would say, Connolly, Ida, and on the right, I don't know right now, but Robbie Brady actually on the right. I'd say that will probably be the lineup he will go for. I'd be surprised if it was anything else. I mean, there might be one or two, but largely, I think that will be the lineup. And I think the only way he's really going to experiment is by bringing people in off the bench in the second half, or someone gets injured, like what happened with Kevin Long the other day, and then Matt Doherty had to go centre back. So I think the only one you could see as a shock is if anything's wrong with Kevin Long, I think Darragh O'Shea will come in and play centre back.
Yeah, I would hope Kevin Long would start if he's fit. I mean, I'd like to see Darragh O'Shea get a run, and I think he's certainly one for the future. But I think Kevin Long, I really felt for him having to go off after 25 minutes on Sunday, and because that was his chance with John Egan out, and I hope he's given another run out. But well, time will tell. He may well opt for Darragh O'Shea. And I don't know if Shane Duffy will play another 90 minutes. It's a big ask of playing extra time. You know, I know Shane has had a few games at club level now, but to play, what is it, almost 300 minutes of football in 6 days is a big ask, you know.
Yeah, but Duffy's one of those who he thrives off playing more games more regularly, I think. And you know, I can't imagine Stephen Kenny telling him that he's not going to play. I know what he's like. He loves playing for Ireland. Wouldn't miss it for the world. So I think maybe he might start and then come off gradually. It depends on the way the results go. But I think Stephen will be looking at this as probably must win at this point.
Oh, I don't think it's must win, Paul. Sorry, no. And I think it's got. I mean, it's very difficult to go to Helsinki and beat Finland. I mean, they're not the team they maybe were 3 or 4 years ago. They've already qualified directly for the Euros. I mean, and they were comfortable second place in their group, and they did it with all home wins, apart from that defeat by Italy. And even then, they were very unlucky to lose. So it's going to be a tough place. They've also got fans in as well, so they're going to have the home crowd behind them. And I'd actually be happy with a draw tomorrow. I think a draw would be a good result, hopefully a good performance. And I don't think it's must win at any. It can't, I think, be much must win at this stage. Be nice to get a goal, but I think get a goal and avoid defeat. I'd be happy. Yeah, it'd be great to beat them. It would certainly, if we were to win, it would kind of ease any relegation concerns. But
that's what I'm saying. I think
I don't think. Yeah, well, I think the big game to avoid relegation will probably be the home game against Bulgaria, because I reckon it's between ourselves and Bulgaria now to see who gets relegated. I mean, Finland have already chalked up a couple of wins, so they'll probably feel another point or two and they'll be all right.
Yeah, true enough. Well, look, just to kind of wrap up with, you've obviously said who you think will play, but who are you most excited to see maybe get their first cap out of the young lads that have been called up?
Jason Knight is the one that excites me. And he's someone who could get a goal. I know he hasn't even got a cap yet, but he's a really good player in midfield, and he arrives late in the box, and he scored a few goals already for Derby, and I'd like to see him at least get a first cap. Maybe not start the game, but at least get a run out. And I know he's done really well for the under-21s for Stephen. So Stephen knows what he can do. And in some ways, I was really sorry to see him not play in Pisa today as well against Italy, because unfortunately under-21s were beaten today. But still in with a great chance of qualifying. And but yeah, Jason Knight is the one I'd like to see get a run tomorrow, and who knows, maybe even get a goal.
Yeah, I want to see Darrell O'Shea get a run, because I think he's settled in nicely in the Premier League. He finished the season strongly, got promoted with West Brom, and he's a great lad. So I want to see him just make his first cap, just for him personally. If any of them come on and score a goal, I'll be absolutely delighted with it. But just finally, your match prediction, your score prediction for the game tomorrow.
I'm going to go with another 1-1, which means
Who scores
a goal and another run. I'll go with Jason Knight off the bench.
I'm going to go for a 2-1 win to Ireland, away win, and I'm going to go for Aaron Connolly and Robbie Brady, the 2 goals. So hopefully that's the case. I look, right. Again, like you say, if we get a score draw, but I'd like to see us take the lead in the game. For once, I'd like to see us take the lead and see how we do, because we haven't had that situation where we've been in front and see how we do. Do we defend, or do we attack? Do we keep going? So I want to see that scenario hopefully play out soon. But as you say, I would like to avoid defeat, but I would like to see us score some goals. I would like a win, just to kind of end the international break on a little bit of a high, because it's been a bit abysmal in terms of the Slovakia game, the COVID stuff, and everybody just seems a little bit fed up with international football right now, which is a shame, but I can see why. And you'd probably think maybe postpone some of these games would probably be a better idea, because there's so much nonsense, like people turn up at half the squads and stuff like that. But anyway, that's my score prediction. So I think we'll leave it at that. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to like the video. If you want to follow us on social media, feel free. Our social media handles are below. Gary, huge thanks for joining me as always. I will be on live tomorrow for the watch along. If you would be kind enough to end the broadcast there, that would be fantastic. And I'll chat to you all soon. Thanks for watching.
Thanks, guys.